6 holes in the desert, and every single one of them is dry. The money is nearly gone. The foreign engineers are quietly packing up, convinced the whole gamble was a terrible mistake. And then one voice insists on drilling just one more. That single decision, to drill one more hole precisely when every rational person wanted to quit, went on to create the most valuable company on earth and to reshape the entire modern world. This is the story of Saudi Aramco. Here is the pattern worth learning. Call it drilling the 7th hole. When you are chasing something that is genuinely valuable, but the odds look long, the price very often sits just past the exact point where everyone sensible gives up. The failures pile higher and higher, the doubt grows almost unbearable, and the eventual winner is simply the one who had the nerve and the resources to drill one more time. So travel back to the 1930s, to the eastern deserts of Saudi Arabia. An American company had bought the right to search for oil there, betting that the empty sands were secretly hiding a fortune. And for years, that bet looked like an unfolding disaster. They drilled one well, then another, 6 wells in all, and every single one came up dry, or worse, gave only a useless trickle. By late 1937, the whole venture was teetering on the very edge of collapse. The money was running dangerously low, and patience back at headquarters had almost entirely run out. This was the moment, the fork in the road, where a sensible company caps its losses, quietly admits the desert is empty, and simply walks away for good. But they did not walk away. Instead, they halted everything else and threw all of their last remaining effort at one final hole. They called it Number 7, and they kept on drilling it, deeper and deeper, far past the depth where oil had been found across the water in Bahrain, fighting stuck tools and broken drill bits for well over a year. And then, on the 4th of March 1938, it finally happened. Number 7 roared to life, flowing with real, commercial quantities of oil. Within weeks, it was gushing thousands of barrels every single day. That one, well, later nicknamed the Prosperity Well, proved that beneath those empty-looking sands lay some of the largest oil fields ever discovered on Earth. And it kept right on producing for the next 45 years. Now imagine they had made the safe, sensible choice and simply stopped after that 6th dry well. Because it was actively being discussed, the company would have handed back the concession and walked away from the desert forever, utterly convinced that it was worthless. Saudi Arabia might have entered the modern age as a poor and forgotten corner of the world, rather than as its towering energy superpower, and the oil beneath it would have been found much later, by entirely different hands, on entirely different terms. A full century of history turned on the decision to drill just one more hole. Because what they had actually found was almost beyond imagining. Not merely a lot of oil, but the very cheapest oil on the whole planet to pull out of the ground, at a cost of only a few dollars a barrel, while others paid many times as much. Over the following decades, the Saudi state gradually took full ownership of the company. And that rare combination, the largest reserves on earth and the lowest costs on earth, gave Aramco a kind of power that nothing else in the entire energy world could ever match. Today, Aramco is the tap that the whole world quietly depends upon. When it chooses to open or to close, its valves, the price of the fuel that moves every ship and truck and plane on earth moves right along with it. It has posted the single largest annual profit ever recorded by any company in all of history. It has, at times, been worth more than any other company on the entire planet. And all of it flows, still, from that one stubborn hole in the sand. And you can see just how completely the world leans on it in the rare moments that it is threatened. When its single greatest processing plant was attacked back in 2019 and briefly knocked offline, it took out around 5% of the entire world's oil supply in a single morning, and prices leapt in an instant. One company, one country, one astonishing concentration of the very thing that modern life still quietly runs on. Look back, now, at the shape of the whole story. 6 straight failures, one after another. A venture sitting right on the edge of being abandoned for good. And then the sheer refusal to quit. The decision to drill just one more hole, at the precise moment when quitting was the only sensible thing left to do. Everything that followed, the wealth, the power, the reshaping of the entire world, hung on that one single stubborn choice. So here is the lesson worth keeping. When the thing that you are chasing is genuinely worth having, the difference between failure and fortune is very often just one more attempt, made at exactly the moment when everyone around you has already decided to stop. So ask yourself, honestly, is there a seventh hole somewhere in your own life? One more real attempt at something that truly matters that you are just about to walk away from one single try too soon?